What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dougster Bob Discussions. I'm pretty excited to do this one. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, not much in the drama section, but some upcoming events and some recent events, and one interesting product release that we'll talk about. So let's just get right into it. The Dougster Bob mission: growing BMX by making it fun and easy to understand. For some of us, it's an escape. For others, it's a passion. But for all of us, it's a lifestyle. You're gonna love this sport. I'm glad you're letting me teach you everything that I know about it. So if you guys were listening to the last podcast, we touched about some upcoming events, and one of those was the Australian Nationals going on. This is a way for Australian riders to compete, earn points to ultimately rank and be able to compete in the Olympics. So to do this, you have to go to these UCI events and get UCI points. The Australian Nationals was one that happened last weekend, and Logan Martin won. Big surprise there. Not really. I think him and Brandon Lupos always go head to head, and Logan was able to pull it off. I did see, so there's not much info about this. There's no recap that I was able to find. There's no replays. I only saw it on Logan's Instagram, posted a picture with his medal. Brandon Lupos commented and said, always fun going head to head with you. So it's really cool to see that friendly competition going on. And this does mean those events are starting to get ready for 2021. I think we're going to see a lot of normality coming back to BMX in terms of competition, and I'm pretty excited for that. Seemed like a lot of athletes had the last year to take off, and they could have done one or two things. They could have just sat around and degressed, or they could have put all the effort they had into everything and becoming more elite for 2021. So, God, it's crazy that it's 2021. I literally can't even just, it seems like 2020 went by so fast, but I say that every year. So it's like next year I'll be like, wow, 2021 went by so fast. So anyway, another recent event is Garrett Reynolds bonked his head. They had a BMX street style. I think it was a monster contest in Arlington, Texas. Yeah. And so Kevin Peraza ended up taking gold in the street style, and Garrett Reynolds crashed pretty bad. I've almost never seen Garrett crash, and it was crazy to see. Barrick sent it to me and said, check this out. And I was like, wow. I'm pretty sure he went to do a bar tuck on like a step down, hand slipped off, and he went just over the bars into his head. There's a picture of the video with him and his head cut open. He was just hanging out. He's doing fine, but they took him off in a stretcher. And like I said, you don't see that happen very often with Garrett, even in video parts. Like, he's not like Sean Burns is always on the ground, and Garrett Reynolds, he's so clean, so smooth. We never see those crashes. So that was a big surprise. And like I said, Kevin Peraza took gold in street style. This is one of my favorite things about Kevin, is that he literally kills it on dirt. So he'll take the win on Toyota Triple Challenges. He kills it in park and then kills it in street. Like, on top of that, when I was over in San Diego, we went to Linda Vista for a bit, and I saw Kevin. I was like, yo, what's up? And he was trying to do, was it one-footed can to feeble to no-footed can for a game of a video of doing bike dice. And the point of that is, like, it's crazy because he'll just blast a 360 tuck over a spine, but then also do these crazy street tricks, and it's just so smooth. And this goes back to what I'm saying is, like, for me, the ultimate rider is someone who's really well-rounded. That's why I love Dennis Anderson so much, is he will send huge street stuff, huge park stuff, kill it on dirt. And that's a lot better, those riders who can ride all three, than just riders who pick, like, say, just park and they don't do anything else. Like, I talked about Logan Martin riding street, and it was hard to watch because it's like, how can you triple whip air but not really do like a ice pick? You know what I mean? I don't know. The more effort we put into progressing, the more effort we put into riding, we're building those all around skills. And it's just, to me, that's so important to be a well-rounded rider. What do you guys think? I'm sure I've asked before, but Do you think it's better to just pick one thing and be really, really good at it? Or is it better to be well-rounded and be able to ride everything? I try and be well-rounded, but dirt honestly scares me so bad. So now there's not much going on in the drama and beef section this week. However, there was one thing that I just wanted to put it in here to make a point. A kid came at me arguing on YouTube about the Cult Control being full chromoly, because I said it's not. I'm pretty sure it's trimoly. I don't remember, but I'm 99% sure it's trimoly. It is. The Cult Control is trimoly, but he's like, well, Danscomp says it's full chromoly. I'm like, okay, well, literally anywhere else says it's trimoly. So anyway, I went on with him and I just said, look, you can look at Colt's website, like it's not full chromoly. Danscomp almost went out of business because they were taking orders for parts they didn't have and then taking months and months to ship them out. And that was a big thing, a few years ago. So I said, Danscomp is doing good right now. I haven't heard really any issues, but I just told him, I was like, dude, be careful and always double check those specs. Same for you guys though. The reason I'm including this is to make that a point, and not just for Danscomp. Like, I know sometimes my reviews on my website, something is off on there. And when people point it out, I'm like, dude, thanks for pointing it out. So now I can change it. But the stuff listed online is not always 100% accurate. Like Fiends Bikes in 2019 said they weighed over 30 pounds and they were listing the complete package weight and not just the weight of the bike. So always double check those things, guys. If you're like, you seem a little unsure, check around to a few different websites to see what they say, because it's not like, it's a high likelihood that something is just a little bit off. So be careful, double check that. Couple things going on is Demolition hopped in the van and went on a road trip to Vegas. So there's a group of guys, I'm pretty sure Kevin went, Matt Cardova, Chris Fox, and Mike Hucker. I don't think Dennis Anderson went with them, but I saw a few posts, and if you guys are in that area, be on the lookout for them. I just saw Barrick sent me a post of Garrett Reynolds doing a trick in El Paso, and that's like an hour from me. So I go ride there all the time, and Barrick's like, maybe I'll go to El Paso. He never leaves Las Cruces, like ever. But it's so cool to just randomly run into your idols around your hometown. So if you guys are in Vegas, you should definitely be on the lookout for them. These guys are killer. We just talked about Kevin for a little bit. We always talk about Dennis. I love Chris Fox. I love Matt Cardova. So anyway, Demolition's on a road trip. Be on the lookout. The second thing is USA BMX Freestyle. This is something that I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on because it's a little bit of a controversy right now. Some of you might have seen some virtual contests going on, and the way it works is these kids, they post a 45-second run, 30 to 45 seconds, no cuts, no music, wearing a helmet, and it's just a continuous run. And then they can submit it through Instagram, or like by posting it on Instagram or DMing it. And so they're doing virtual contests. This is what happened a lot in 2020, and I saw a few of them. And then the whole thing is that USA BMX Freestyle is a branch of the ABA, which is the American BMX Association. Now, fact check me, but I'm 99% sure that's what's going on. And they created a freestyle branch. So ABA is a racing thing. They have track memberships. People compete for points in racing, and ultimately through those points become on through those points, they get on the USA BMX race team to compete in the Olympics. So they're trying to come and make freestyle more of that way. So more competitive and things like that. Now you pay like $60 for a membership. With your membership, you're able to compete in the real contest and the virtual contest. And I guess their mission is to help younger kids or amateur riders show their skills and get connected with, say, companies or mentors or whoever it may be that can really help them progress and help them take it to the next level. This is a really good idea because it's, this is in line with what I want to do, is get people into the sport and then help them become good enough to enjoy all of the benefits of BMX. BMX is great, but it's even greater when you can get free parts, when you can travel and things like that. So I I like this. I haven't spent too much research on it, but they're going to have some contests over 2021. The first one is at Premises Park in Tucson, which is like 3 hours from me. And it might be cool to go and check out, see what's going on. I don't know how they're doing like age limits or anything like that. From what I understand, it's more geared towards the younger riders just to help them progress and get higher up in the sport. Um, Monster Army did this a few years back with Recon Tour. It was a big thing. They would do Recon Tour stops across the US. You would compete based on your rankings. You would get invited to like the last final that I remember they did at Mike Spinner's house. So all the top three, I think, from each event ended up going out there and competing in finals. So this is kind of the same concept. Dew Tours died out. X Games is dying. So FISE is doing really good, but I'm not sure how sustainable this is and how, if they're able to last and if they're able to keep it up. Because it just seems like contests are not really a huge thing. Like everybody likes the idea of it, but nobody actually competes. Nobody actually, it's not the same vibes as a jam like we've talked about in previous podcasts. So that's kind of their mission with it. That's what's going on. Now, there's pros to this, right? The biggest pro is bringing more awareness to BMX and turning it more into a real sport. So by letting kids compete, earn points, travel, go to different competitions, just like you would in racing, you're bringing more awareness. When you say I compete in BMX to somebody, they're going to assume that you race because that's been going on for like 50 years, racing BMX, and it's a sport. It's in the Olympics. Now, freestyle was supposed to be in the Olympics last year, obviously. So we're taking that step forward into making it more of a real sport. USA BMX Freestyle is definitely helping with that. I don't know how I feel about paying memberships, but that's what you have to do for UCI points to compete in those contests. You need to have a membership. So I guess it's not really a new thing. But one of the cons that I've seen talked about, I read a interview about this on Vital, and one of the big cons was that people are saying this is killing the creativity of BMX. This is making it less fun and creating more of a competitive environment. And my main question for you guys is like, just think about this while you're driving or whatever. Is this ultimately going to benefit BMX? Is creating a atmosphere where people compete, they earn points, they pay memberships, they travel for contests. Is that creating a better BMX experience? Or is it making it more of a less fun? Because, you know, in any sport, you have those competitive parents who are just really hardcore, you know, pushing their kid to eat way too much protein at a young age so they can bulk up and play football. Or, you know, dads pushing their kids down ramps on a skateboard to drop in. I don't know if you guys remember that video from a while ago. The kid was on the edge getting ready to drop in and dad just pushed him in. It's just kind of a competitive environment. And for me, riding bikes was about just getting out, being on my own, trying tricks, trying to progress myself, and figuring out what I was capable of. Competition really takes that to the next level. And I guess if you're not geared for competition, it's going to be really stressful. So think about that. Let me know in the comments what you think, because I'm really curious your guys' perspective on it, especially you guys who have been riding or in the BMX scene for like 30 years. What do you guys think? This is an interesting change that we are approaching. Now, for a rider that's on the rider radar is going to be Paris Benegas. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her last name. We talked about her in the last podcast, about her and Vans working on something, and it came out she is on Vans Pro, so they're filming a Welcome to Vans Pro edit. Very exciting. Vans does a lot to partner with different female BMX riders. They have Angie, and they ultimately do so much. So this is really exciting for her. This is a huge sponsor. And when she was told about it, they gave her custom coffee. It's a Paris flavor from Drop-In Coffee to go with the Welcome to Vans deal. She was super hyped on this. She just had a huge smile in it. It was really cool to see. What is it? Steve Crandall, I think, was there doing it. And it was a really cool deal, to see how happy she got and everything like that. My favorite thing is she has crazy suicides. She goes really high. She just sends it. A lot of tire grabs. It's clean, high, fast, stuff like that. It's not, my favorite BMX rider has got to be Nikita, but what's her name? Hannah Roberts is absolutely killer. Like, I think she does flip bars, double whip airs, things like that. Like, hardly any girls on that level. Paris has a totally different riding style that involves going high, going fast, and doing more like, I kind of look at it like downhill or hardtail mountain bike tricks, like big toboggans, big one-handed X-ups, things like that. It's just really fun to watch those different styles and kind of compare them. But congrats to Paris. Welcome to Vans. Excited for your coffee. So yeah, that's really all I got in that section though. The one product release is the eClaw Street Tool. Now, if you guys follow them, you probably saw it. It looks really sleek. It looks really nice. They say it's designed to fit in your back pocket or in your bag. And it has a 4mm Allen key, 5mm Allen key, 6mm, and an 8mm, all Allen keys. And it has different slots. So you can actually put the Allen key in the slot and use the whole handle for leverage. And this is going to make your life way easier. It's one of the only bikes or bike tools, multi-tools that will work on a fat pivotal seat, because you can use the other end of the Allen key and get it all the way down in there. You can also use it to get on your pedals if your pedals have an Allen key. And overall, it looks okay. It has a 14 gauge spoke wrench and a 17mm deep socket also. So the socket is perfect for the wheels. The 8 Allen key is good for your front wheel if you ride profiles. Overall, it has almost everything that you need. The only thing, I don't know why you need a 4 or 5. Like, those are not very common, maybe with brakes, I guess, but street riders ride brakes, ? But a couple issues is, there's no way anyone's going to ride with that in their pocket. It's not that small. It's bulky. If you loop out on a manual, you fall on your butt with that in your pocket, you're going to cry. And it goes in the backpack. So that this comes up because somebody said, hey, why not include a pedal wrench? Because not all pedals have 6mm Allen keys to go into the back. And why not just include a pedal wrench so that you can use that if your pedal doesn't have an Allen key? They said, well, a pedal wrench would increase the size too much, and this is designed for your back pocket. It's like, well, I mean, chances are nobody's actually going to ride with this in their back pocket anyway, and it would have been better just to make it a little bit bigger and put the pedal wrench on there. But, that's kind of nitpicky. The only other thing is from their promo video and just from looking at the spoke wrench, it's not very useful. Like, it's cool to have, but if you need a spoke wrench, chances are your spokes are too loose, like 2 to 3 turns loose. And the way the spoke wrench is designed is that you can't actually turn it around in a full circle because it catches on the other spoke. So you're going by like half or quarter turns, and that's really annoying, especially if you have to go 3 full turns. That's like, I don't know, 8 different times that you're connecting it onto the nipple. So I don't know. The spoke wrench, it's a cool idea, but like I said, if you need a spoke wrench, you need to like really tighten it down because it's crazy loose, and you're just gonna, or you need to do some real adjustments. Like if your wheels just tweaked off a little bit, you're fine with riding until you get home. Like you don't need a spoke wrench to tweak just a tiny bit of a wobble. You need it when your wheel is severely messed up. And when that happens, you're doing a lot of reconstruction to it, a lot of loosening, a lot of tightening. But like I said, it's full chromoly handle. It's heat treated, so it is really strong. It looks nice, but I'm not sure if the utility is 100% there. I've never bought a multi-tool just because for me, they're way too bulky, way too overpriced for what you're actually getting. And none of them are designed yet to just actually fit in your pocket. Like if they were the size of a credit card, maybe they can figure that out. I mean, not as thick, but it's the size of a credit card. That would be a little bit better. You could throw that in your pocket pretty easily. But just a 17mm socket is going to be that size. So I'm not sure. As time goes, we're like 4 years in the multi-tool development. I think in the next few years, somebody will come up with something incredible. But as for products, that's really all I got. So one thing I'm going to add here at the end is talking about your guys' comments on the podcast. So I had a few people comment on episode 3. Nigel was a big topic. Mutiny was a big topic. And so let's just go through some of these with you guys. Black 187, he's in the lives a lot. He says, Nigel is just a really rich, or that's what he looks like. He's not a rider, just a poser. And this is true. I mean, not necessarily the poser thing. That's kind of a bold statement, but he has like a solid fan base, and he exceeded that thing where, you know, you get popular for riding bikes to a certain point. Nick and I were talking about this a lot, but at some point you get popular for being popular. Like Charli D'Amelio, she got popular for being popular on TikTok. Like that's what took her to the next level. Same with Nigel. He got popular for riding bikes, but then it was like, why do so many people like him? And his popularity made him more popular. Does that make any sense? And so at that point, brands are going to sponsor people who have an influence and have a lot of followers. So exactly like Black said, he is, I mean, really rich because he's an influencer. He influences people, and that's where the money's at. Dayton Maxon says, Mutiny sucks, in my opinion. I heard a lot about them. Ride Lifestyle says, I feel like popularity following matters. That's why they get sponsored business-wise. Exactly on point. Just like Adam LZ, just like any rider who got popular that shouldn't have been good enough to get Pro Team, got Pro Team because of their following and their popularity. Shinobi Kin, also in the live a lot, says, also new Simple Session 2021 in August. This is so exciting to hear. If I remember, Shinobi is in Estonia where they host the Simple Session. So it's cool he's letting us know early about that 2021 Simple Session in August. Guys, look up some Simple Session videos if you're bored, because it's literally a huge party and then a huge contest. It looks like so much fun going over there. And the only other ones was from Blake, Marvin, and Lucas, also live regulars. They're always in the live. And they just said that we're so close to 4K. At the time of that, we actually hit 4,000 subs when I posted that. So now we're at 40-50 or something like that. You guys are awesome. Everyone who's listening, everyone who's watching, I appreciate the support. And, you know, I think we're going to hit my goal of 10K by September. I'm just going to keep grinding on the content. You guys keep supporting. Let me know if you have any questions, and leave a comment on this podcast. If you're listening, head to YouTube and then and leave a comment and tell me what you think so we can discuss it on the next one. You guys have a great day. Drive safe if you're driving, and thanks for supporting. Peace.